All right, we are live. Welcome to August, everyone. It is the 3rd. It is already somehow the 3rd. And yeah, we are in August. We're in the final stretch of. Thank you, Afra. The final stretch of summer reading here at the BB. There are only 2 weeks left, so if you are working on a bingo or interested in doing a bingo, now's the time to do it. Anything you've read all summer works retroactively. So anything you've read this summer, if you decide to look up our bingo now, um, anything that qualifies. So you could still get a bingo. There are prizes for all ages. We have preschool, elementary, young adult, which is middle school and high school, and adult. So yeah, get on that. And I will continue the crafting past that point, just as I was doing it before summer reading. But the rest of our program schedule for both adults and youth will change probably after the 14th, 15th. And you'll see some changes in what's up. We'll probably take a little bit of time off from most programs, and then we'll pick back up, especially once we all know what the schools are doing. So, anyway, so today we're making two musical instruments. We're going to make harmonicas, and we are going to make a straw pan flute. And they're both pretty easy, so I don't think this is going to be a super long video. But first, I'm going to show off that I have finally completed my castle. You can see it will not come off. It was very easy to finish. I don't know if the stair. Maybe you can see. You can't really see. But basically what I did is I put the three pieces down. I traced them out with pencil. You can kind of see some of the pencil mark over here. And then I glued along that pencil mark. Put hot glue. Plopped it on. It glued. Same thing here. I just glued on the top. I glued to the to this, just around the top, and then just placed this on real hard. And it stuck on. As you can see, it's quite secure. Yanking pretty hard. So yeah, that's the end of the castle from 2 weeks ago that I'd forgotten to finish for last week. So it's done. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I do kind of like it. So I don't know. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Really could have used another coat of paint, but oh well. So yeah, we're going to start with the harmonicas. They require a few more pieces of equipment than the pan flute. So you need 2 popsicle sticks. I happen to have some of the thicker ones, which is what the recipe instructions actually call for. But if you have the regular size ones, that'll work too. Honestly, I'm not going to play this a whole lot because I hate the feel of wood on my lips. But I will test it out a little bit for you guys to see how well it works. Afra really wants to test it out. Afra, you sing fine without... Where even are you? Without having to use a harmonica. So yeah, and the nice thing is, she is I apologize in advance for her because I was on a meeting earlier and she just squawked through the entire thing. So she is just loaded for bear today and I don't know why. And so she might very well just yell through this whole thing and I will do my best to get her to be quiet, but oh yeah, castle looks great for a D&D set piece. That's actually quite true. It would make a good adventure. I'll have to work that into to maybe one of the kids. Maybe have them come upon the teens. So if any of you are watching, the hint of what might be coming. Afra, please. So anyway, popsicle sticks. You can also decorate these. You can absolutely paint them, color them, whatever. Afra has on occasion made video appearances in these. She does not particularly like, well, it's not even that she likes me, but she and I have a love-hate relationship in that she stays in her cage and I chat with her, and if I come near her, she tries to bite me because that's the way Afra says love. And so the only person she doesn't do that with is her actual person, who is usually at work and is at work today. But I will try and look up which week Afra made an appearance and post it in the comments because she has made appearances. There have been a couple of Mondays where my roommate has been home, and therefore Afra has been able to come say hello. But what I will do, try and remind me at the end of this, is I will move my computer. It'll be a little jerky, and I will show you guys Afra on the camera. But I don't want to do it until I get to the end just because of the way I have my setup. But I can absolutely show her off at the end of the video. While she is still happily, or not so happily maybe, in her cage. So yeah, so you can decorate these absolutely. I would not suggest, because of what this is, tape, like any type of duct tape or washi tape. But you certainly could use, as we've done, I don't think I have it sitting here, but like as we did with the dragonfly, Afra. Sharpies would work fine, other markers, but just make sure they dry real well before you put your mouth on them, because all right, so basically what we're going to do is I need to cut first thing you're going to do is cut a paper strip that's about the size of this. I have my little, sometimes I print out instructions, or at least the base minimum. Sometimes I do not. Today I did, just because this is not a craft. Afra! Yeah, as I told you guys, sorry, she is loaded for bear. She is just 100% bird today. Just, as I said, I was on Zoom for almost an hour and a half earlier, and she just went the entire time. And you'd think I hadn't been on Zoom, like, in days, which is not true at all. In fact, the roommates and I watched a penguin encounter this weekend through Shed Aquarium, which is in Chicago. I will tell you, we repped New England Aquarium and New England quite well. And she got very distressed on behalf of the Afra on the baby penguin and yelled a lot. Okay, so here's my strip of paper. You can see it's just about the same size as, kind of, here, if I can hold it this way. And you're going to put this between, yeah, Afra does think she should be putting the Popsicle Sticks. They are her kind of thing. You're going to put that between, I don't know if you can see, the piece of paper sandwiched between. Then I'm going to use a rubber band. You need 2 of them to basically seal one end. You want it fairly tight. Let's see. There we go. So there's one rubber band on. It doesn't have to be pretty. I mean, obviously it looks better if it's pretty, but it's not my jam, so. Then I'm going to I need straws for both of these. So here's one of my straws. I have a ginormous bag of straws because, as you probably know, you really can't buy straws unless it's a ginormous bag of straws. And I'm going to cut it just over the width of this. So right about here. I'm going to hold on to that straw because I need to use... The bird did go quiet, which I appreciate, mostly because the other roommate, not the bird's roommate, but the other one who's also working from home, came to chat with her for a minute in hopes of getting her settled down a little bit. So we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully more than 30 seconds. But, so that is why she's quiet. And now... God, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. It is sometimes like an avian horror film, especially when she goes quiet, and then I look for her, and she's, like, I can't find her. I mean, partially it is that my view of her is slightly, I'm going to cut a second piece of straw now. My view of her is slightly obstructed. There's a large object in my way. And so that, is... And I'm forgetting to even show you the craft. We're so busy talking about Afra. All right, so I've jammed this one in here. This is what's going to give me a little bit of lift. And then I'm going to jam the other one that I've now cut in there. I'm not sure. It didn't say whether they should both be underneath or above the paper. I'm going to do one on either side and see how that works. And then you're going to take a rubber band, another one, and you're going to do the other end. This one's going to take me a lot of turns because this is a pretty big rubber band. Alright, so there's your basic harmonica. Done. Maybe I should be maybe my it's possible my paper's not tight enough because that's what's supposed to make the vibration. Oh no, I shouldn't put enough lips on it because again, I don't like necessarily putting my lips on the wood because it's one of those like feeling things. So there is. You can kind of do it breathing in too. It makes a slight noise. I don't think you could hear it, but I couldn't get enough breath to actually make the noise last for very long. But and if you kind of bite down a little bit on it. So yeah, that is a really obnoxious noise. Good luck to anyone who makes them. I hope you have somebody to properly annoy with it, or even just yourself. Just run around making noises. If you don't, I mean, pretty much everyone has paper, I think. But if you want to try the other way I saw doing this, is you take a third rubber band and wrap it long ways around one of them, so that's your instead of your paper, your thing that vibrates. So you can try that too. So yeah, that is a noise. Doesn't really sound like a harmonica, but doesn't sound too far off a harmonica. So there's little harmonicas. You can also use a toothpick instead of the straws. If that's your jam. I was already using straws for our second craft, and so I figured why not just use straws because I already had them out. So there's that, and I could absolutely decorate it, color both sides, which I will try and remember to do for next week. Our second thing is completely ridiculous, but actually really funny, and I kind of love it, and I'm going to see how well it works. And this one all you really need is scissors, a bunch of straws, and tape. So I have my bag of straws, my scissors that I've already been using. My straws are so heavy they're knocking over my glue that I'm using to hold them up, and a roll of tape. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 of each of 8 different lengths of straws. So you're going to start out with a full-length straw. Except mine are bendy straws. So I am going to cut off the bendy part. You don't have to, but I'm going to. So my longest straws are going to be this long. So it's my straw minus the bendy part. And so you cut those off. And then every straw after that, so now I have 2. I need 2 of every length. You need 8 lengths, so you're going to basically go down an inch. And so I have different color straws, so my next ones, I'm going to use the blue. So all I'm going to do is just measure it up to it and be like, okay, that's about how long I want it to be. They don't have to be perfect either. They just have to be about the same size. It's going to have a lot of wasted straw, which is not always a good thing. But I'm also going to try and use some of these lengths of straw for the other parts. I'm going to use my red. So I need 8 lengths. Is my red too small? Yeah, my red's too small, so let's use the yellow. Alright. Let's take the blue and cut. Is that going to be the same length? No, red's a little short. So we're going to cut the yellow. We're going to cut a second yellow. And actually, honestly, you could use, if you didn't have bendy straws, you could use, like I could just use the other half of that yellow. But I'm going to be wasteful. I apologize. The example showed slightly wider straws. These are quite small straws, but I think it'll be okay. And then I'm going to use my red. Dog, don't go upstairs. Dog's deciding to peace out upstairs, but I don't think anyone's up there. It's been cooler upstairs because we have window AC in our window ACs in our rooms, and so even when they're not running, it has generally been cooler upstairs. And so she is trying to peace out upstairs, I think, to get the cooler air. But I'd rather her not be up there when no one else is up there. Alright, I have, God, I only have 4? Apparently my straws aren't long enough, or I need to actually use, I think that's what I need to do, is I need to use the, okay, that's fine. Let me cut one more short length of something here. Alright, I'm going to use the bendy part after all. Let's see how this works. And my other blue. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not showing here. I can kind of show you. You can see all my lengths of straws. Afra does approve of yellow. I think Afra approves of most colors, honestly. And I will show you, put the camera back on this when I go to actually, let's go for red. Alright. There we go. And we're gonna go some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're gonna go with 7. I know I'm supposed to go with more because that's what they did, but as I said, I have pretty small straws, so I'm not gonna fight with this too much to try and make it a whole lot longer. I could probably go one more. There's my straws. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, let's see. Let me grab 2 more greens, and we'll have them be full-length straws. Alright, so there are my straws. What you want is your tops to be pretty even. In fact, I'm going to flip these guys over so that I'm not dealing with the middle of the... Alright, and then you're going to take your tape. Can you guys see that? Yeah. And I didn't do enough. That's fine. I'll do a second round. And you're going to just tape them together. You're not quite the right height. And then you're going to... Ooh, I lost one. Lost a yellow. Alright, so now I can pick this back up because they are all attached. So here's the idea, and what you're going to want to do, because this is, if you've ever seen like a pan flute, this is, you know, what they look like, is you want to do another row like maybe here of tape. So we're going to do that real quick. Alright, so there we go. There's, ooh, I gotta move it out. And if you have, like, for this one, if you have a colorful, like, duct tape or washi tape or, like, even, what's the tape that I'm looking for? Not packing tape. Oh, it'll come to me. The tape that's, like, yellowish and comes off things pretty easily. Like, you can use it for labels and stuff on, like, dishes. And it'll come to me the name of it. And that one would work, too, because... you can draw on those. You can write on those. It's, yeah, I don't remember. But, anyway. Masking tape. Masking tape? Masking tape? Is this the right one I'm thinking of? Yeah, masking tape. You can definitely use masking tape. But anyway, so here's my, I didn't end up, because of the way I kind of did it, I didn't end up with a perfect color. I got 2 of every color, but not in a perfect, like, rainbow, which is also fine. And then so yeah, they're not... That got her attention. All of a sudden she's like, huh. I hear noise. She came back. She'd gone over to cuddle with one of her toys, and she's now come back over and is like, what is she doing? So yeah, I mean, it's not by any means a perfect instrument. And bigger straws probably would work a little bit better, but it is fun to do the... I'm also running out of breath before I get to the end because that is the kind of human being that I am. So yeah, so you can make a really simple, like, easy pan flute. There is some left over. I mean, there's straw littered around, but you can also do it a little bit better than I did so that you don't have as much straw left after. Because like this straw could be that length. You know, you can kind of do the mix and match to make them the right lengths. So yes, I apologize to nature because I know straws aren't super good. I'm going to do one more. It's a little weak down here at the bottom, so I'm going to do one more tape. One more tape down here. So now there's 3 sets of tape. Tape here, and tape up here. And yeah, so there's the pan flute and the harmonica, which sounds more like a kazoo. So whoever asked for kazoos last time, this is basically, it's going to make your noise very similar to a kazoo. So yeah, so those are the 2 things we did this week. 2 easy, simple crafts. Next week we're gonna do 2 different sizes of like guitar / banjo. I think one's more banjo-y, one's more guitar-y. You're going to need the crafts are a little bit more a little more complicated, or what you need for the craft is a little more complicated, I guess. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need another one of the popsicle sticks, a bunch of rubber bands, relatively long ones that'll stretch a really long ways, but you're gonna need like 6-7 rubber bands for this one. A jar top, if you have it, something like that. If not, I don't have like a pickle jar top right now, but hopefully either we'll find one in the next week or I can make do with something. You're gonna need a little bit of like duct tape or another heavy duty tape, a paper towel roll, which I have. My paper towel roll is here, and an empty big box of Kleenex box or tissue box, because we're gonna make little tiny guitars using because basically what you need for the jar top, if you don't have a jar top, is you need a circle of some sort or even a square or rectangle that has a bit of a lip, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the rubber bands around it, and that's gonna be the part you pull. And I was just told that I could easily get a pickle jar by next week if I just tell one of the roommates to eat a lot of pickles. So, which, go for it, eat a lot of pickles. Yeah, so one's gonna be really small. It's only gonna be like maybe, basically the jar and then a little bit of this sticking out of the top. And then the other one's gonna be huge because this is gonna be your base and this is gonna be the neck. So that's what we're gonna do next week. 2 different kinds of guitars. Yes. And in the comments is the list, thanks to Alyssa True, of what you need, so you can reference that as well. It'll also be up on social media later this week. And that is all for me. Have a good week, everybody, and I will see you this time next week. Thanks. Bye.